So we need to do a right here as we turn right. Oh my god, we've just 1050'd a motorcyclist. We've just 1050'd a motorcyclist. I do hope he's alright. Hello everybody and welcome along to a brand new episode of A Different Story. That's right, we have downloaded ourselves the EMS mod today. We are not playing LSPDFR. Today we are going to be paramedics. So today we are going to go ahead and see what life is like on the other side of the emergency services today as a paramedic of Los Santos, which I am really looking forward to, as I've never done this before. That's right, I installed it last night, which was actually Wednesday, and then went ahead and played best part of maybe 10 minutes of it, and instantly loved it and thought, why not make an episode of it? So you'll have to excuse me if I am not particularly brilliant at it at the moment. I've not had much practice, but I was very excited to get a video put out of it and show you guys just what it's like and see how it goes, get a play-by-play kind of feel of the game, and just get a general idea of if it's worth keeping or not. So we already have a call out, and as you can hear, it is a computerized voice. It's not a proper dispatch. Not sure if I like that at the moment or not, but it adds a little bit of a difference to it. So we've got a code red, so I imagine that means to get there as bloody quick as we bloody can. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Although I am not in a police car, I am in an ambulance, so you'll have to excuse if I'm not as fast as some of the police cars that we have on our LSPDFR episodes. These vehicles are quite sluggish and top heavy, so we'll do our best to get there as safe and as quick as possible, as someone's life does kind of depend on it, really. So being held up by some arsehole at the traffic lights isn't much of a help to us. It appears that they don't really kind of get out your way like they do on the police mod. So we'll see if traffic is going to give us a bit of problem today. I'm not quite sure, but we need to navigate. See, now the bus has just got right in my way, and again, it's like they're purposely trying to block me. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go on the other side of the road and smash it down this way. Now on the map, it does look like it is on the beach. So we're going to go around this way where the cycle path is and hopefully tend to them there. So yes, I downloaded the mod from lspdfr.com. It is a script mod, so it doesn't go into your LSPDFR plugins. It goes into the folder on your Grand Theft Auto 5 root directory called scripts. It's got two file names, a .dll and a .ini file. And that INI file doesn't appear to do much of a difference. It's supposed to be how you can configure the game and change all the buttons and settings, and I've done that and it's made not a blind bit of difference. So not sure if I'm doing something wrong there, but it doesn't seem that the .ini file is working correctly. So I'm going to have to stick with the default buttons that the mod author has assigned, whether I like it or not. So we're here at the scene now, and we're going to go ahead and treat the patient with some very funky looking animations. You go ahead and press Y, which we've just done. That's Y on the keyboard and not Y on your controller, as I mistakenly did it once and I ended up getting back in my vehicle, so that was a bit silly of me. But we've got a police car. Is that a police car? Yeah, that's a police car over there on the beach, making sure that everything's all closed off, I guess. But yeah, no, it's given us some vital stats, so I'm quite sure. I mean, her health is 34, so I imagine it's out of 100. So she hasn't got a brilliant set of health, but the blood pressures and the resting rate, is it resting rate? Double R? I'm not quite sure what any of that means, really. It's not in the configurable file. There's no kind of files inside the mod that tells you what all those mean, so I guess you do have to be a regulated doctor to understand this mod completely. So now that she's back on her feet, and I hope that she's making her way to the ambulance. Yep, she's got into the ambulance, so you don't get to see any animation of her getting inside. But, oh, that's a pretty good... That's really good, that is. The actual, my partner, who I spawned before we started this video, actually gets in the back as if he's treating her. So that's actually quite good. So kudos on that. But we've now got a yellow marker which signifies the hospital which we need to take her to. So we're going to go ahead and get her along to the hospital for further treatment, hopefully. I guess she kind of needs more treatment than what we could provide roadside or beachside for that matter. So yes, I hope you guys are all fine and dandy. I hope you've had a really good week. I've had an absolute blinder of a week. It's been very helpful finding this mod. It's kind of perked me right up. So in this mod, I'll talk a little bit more about this mod while we go to the hospital. In this mod you can do 3 different types of EMSs, which is the one we're doing now. That's the first one. That's being the paramedic. Or EMS, I think it is. You go on duty, you bring up the menu, you go on duty, and you get to choose your which duty you want. So the first one is be an ambulance driver. The second one is it spawns you a default 4x4, which is the Douglas Ranger. So I imagine you can change that if you found a mod you liked on GTA 5 .mods, then you could change it to any vehicle you want. But for the purposes of default pack, it is just the Douglas Ranger, and that's a first responder, so I imagine that's getting to the scenes before the ambulance has a chance to. And the third and final EMS mod you can be is a helicopter rescue guy, which I'm actually quite excited to do, and I think I might do that as my next episode if this works out and is as stable as we hope it is. And yes, I've not tried that one out yet, so I'm not sure if you get any different types of calls, but it does look promising. It spawns you a very nice looking helicopter, which you can obviously get a partner to as well, so that's all fine and dandy there. Yeah, so that's 3, but this mod does have a potential for a lot more, and I think we'll talk about that later on. When I'm not trying to concentrate on trying to get into this hospital with idiots blocking the way. It's very difficult to try and talk and drive. So yes, we've dropped off the person. They look like they're feeling a lot better. So much so that she's not even bloody well gone into the hospital. Thank you very much for that. She's just walked off. So to her, or to me, I'm just a glorified taxi, it seems. So honestly, I do think that is just something that's done into the scripts that I don't think, I mean, far be it for me to judge, because whoever makes these mods and scripts are way cleverer than I'll ever be. I'd never know how to write this type of coding. So it could just be really a case of it's not written correctly or completely. It's like a role play is, you've got to kind of dream it up in your mind that she's gone into the hospital. So we're now on another one, and if you bring up the menu here, you can get the patient's history, which is actually pretty cool. So, alright, well, it's quite detailed. You do get quite a bit of history, and right, that's quite good. I don't know in real life if you'd get that history before you get to the scene, or if you'd get it when you're at the scene, but we're going to do it now so that we can prep ourselves for what we need. And if you notice, which I just have actually, this is a green marker, so do I not need to go red lights? I think it is just a case of get there when you can, but for the purposes of this game we're going to green light it? No, we're not going to green light it, we're going to red light it, that's it. We don't have greens, we do not have green bulbs in our vehicles, so right, we're now at the scene itself. So let's go take a look-see at what has happened. He looks unconscious to me, so we're going to have to see what is going on there. And we've gone up and we've pressed Y on our keyboard to start the evaluation. And I believe it should give us some options, hopefully. Did do on my one that I did a couple of hours ago. It was the one and only mission I did. So yes, it's given us a patient menu, so you can do various bits and bobs there. We're going to go ahead and give a drug injection. So whether he likes it or not, he's going to be taking some drugs. I got it from the greatest street of all, Grove Street. So I've been told they're pretty kosher with their drugs. So let's see if this does anything for the man. I'm not quite sure what he was suffering from, actually. I should have really read it, but I don't think that is the treatment that he needed. So we'll treat in the ambulance. But that seems to have perked him right up, hearing that he's going to go in the ambulance. So now that he's getting into the ambulance, we'll be able to treat him in a much easier way, hopefully. Let's see if we can get the patient's history again, see what he's allergic to. Nothing remarkable. Okay, suffers from nothing remarkable. And was found on the ground by a passer-by. Okay, so fever and neck rigidity. Rigidity? I can't quite say that word. There we go. So, right, we need to get him back onto the ambulance because we almost got him to leave. So, right, no, that's the wrong button. So that makes me exit. So we've not got a marker to get him to the hospital. So, and I appear to have pressed another wrong button. Yes, okay, so pressing Y on the keyboard to get in your vehicle is not a good option when you're near the patient, because we've now gone under/in the vehicle to treat him again. So, right, well, I don't know, perhaps I should let him go because we're not getting a marker to take us to hospital. So if we let him go, oh my god, he's underneath the vehicle now, and we've gone through the vehicle. Yeah, so if we was to perhaps release on scene, because he might not actually need to go to hospital, he just might have had a little bit of a funny turn. So yeah, we've code 4'd it now. So I guess that means that we've basically signed him off and told dispatch that we're going to bugger off. But not before we forget our partner. So he does appear to have a little bit of a problem of not understanding to get back in the vehicle once he's out of the vehicle. But that's not too much of a problem really. We can just prompt him to get in if we're having a bit of a problem. So I think the negatives far... Well, no, not far, sorry. The other way around. The positives far outweigh the negatives on this mod at the moment.
61 respond
and
to a
hello.
cardiac arrest.
That site's pretty familiar for us, isn't it, guys?
West
The
Vinewood.
LSPDFR. That's normally us that are on that side of the pistol. But it appears that today we're going to be picking up all of the bits and bobs from all the shootings that the police officers do today. So it's nice to kind of be on the other end of the foot, or boot, so to speak. So we've got a cardiac arrest, which, yes, so it'd make it code red. So we do need to get there pretty pronto, and it is just up here, but it's on the other side of the road, so we need to go past this central reservation and swing it around. Right, come on out the way, car. There we go. Thank you very much. We'll just park it up here on the sidewalk and tend to the patient in hand pretty quick. Right, lady, you're going to have to give us some space. It appears that she's doing CPR, so obviously it looks very serious. So we're going to do a quick evaluation and see if we can get this lady back on her feet. Right, so what are we going to do? Right, enter, choose treatment. Right, so we're going to probably have to do, well, we are going to have to do CPR. Oh wow, setting up AEDs. Charging AEDs. They're the ones that, you know, they rub together and go clear and... I think that's the ones, I'm not sure. Oh, we appear to have got a rather distraught view of what she had for breakfast this morning. Right, so we've discharged them and it was successful, which is brilliant. Yeah, we're going to change the camera view because we don't want to know what she had for breakfast this morning. And the animation's a little off when picking someone up. It appears that we're picking up the Invisible Man. But I think that's all well. Wow, so I think we've saved her. So, yeah, see now, we distributed, I can't say that word. Now that we've given, there we go, now that we've given the correct treatment, it appears that we can now make our way to the hospital. It's given us a prompt and a marker to head for. And I hope that, yeah, it does look like it is the nearest hospital. It's only half a mile away. Shay over, but we will red light it because of she's basically had a heart attack. So we need to get her there pretty quick for some further treatment. So hopefully she will survive before... Well, if she doesn't die from the heart attack, she's going to have one whilst I'm driving. Because it's all over the shop at the moment. So we'll go around to the right here. And brilliant. Oh, car's parked. Oh, I'll tell you what, remind me next time I'm doing an episode on LSPDFR to put tickets on cars that are parked there, because they shouldn't be parked there. It's for ambulance, such as myself, to be able to cut through and not have to have the traffic lights. So great, she's now been dropped off, and yes, she's also walking off. So it does appear to be a problem with the mod. It's not a big problem, but it's obviously doesn't get them to walk into the hospital. It would be really good though. I mean, I was saying earlier, there's a lot of potential for these mods, but you could add extra things like getting them on a stretcher or gurney, as you say in America. You could wheel them onto the ambulance, you could wheel them into the hospital, book them in. You know, bits and bobs like that would be really good, you know, kind of really immersive gameplay. Makes you feel like, you know, a real strong role-playing game. But, you know, this is a brand new mod. It's not that old, actually. I will leave a link in the description below of how to get this mod, and anyone that is struggling to install it, don't hesitate and write into the comment box and ask, you know, a bit of help, because I'm quite happy to give a bit of help for anyone that does need it.
You are in code G
And
green.
we've got another call out, which is a green one, so I'm not going to use my lights all the way, just at traffic lights if I need them. So that's a very nice Range Rover we've just gone past there. That's a car that I've added on into the game. I've added a few more last night as well. So we should start to see some newer and improved vehicles. Hopefully it doesn't cause too many problems with the game. I've played it without being on duty, just for 10-15 minutes. And it appears to not cause any drop in the frame rate, which is brilliant. Getting a good solid 55, 60 frame rates a second. However, this mod appears to be affecting the frame rate quite a bit. As you can see, it's very jerky. It's a bit painful on the eyes actually, but it only is when we're called out to someone. I think hasn't caused us too much problems, but I have noticed a change in frame rate, which is really weird because the top left of my screen I have a frame counter and it's only changed about 2 or 3 frames. But the actual game itself feels like I've lost half of my frame. It feels like I'm playing a PlayStation 4 game here with the best part of 28 frames a second. So it's going to have a little look into that and see if that's fixable, or if that is just part and parcel of the mod. You will lose frames, I guess. With LSPDFR, it's really dependent on what you're doing to how my frames change. A lot of the time it will only lose about 4 frames a second. But up until the previous LSPDFR update, I was losing quite a lot of frames on pulling people over. So it would go from 60 frames, pull someone over, and as soon as I get to their car, it was going down to about 28 frames. And I was like, oh my god, it felt awful. It did. I was like, I can't be doing this. And I updated the LSPDFR Plus. When was this? Just after Christmas. Albo bought one out, and it fixed it. It was brilliant. And then last week another LSPDFR Plus update came out, and it's still working perfectly. So thank you very much, Albo. That was very appreciated. You have saved my eyeballs to no strength. So right, we need to get back to this game. I'm waffling on, and we need to fix some people. So we are at the scene now. I noticed when I got the patient's history, he was 70 with a drunk condition. So, okay. Hang on a second, this can't be right. I smell insurance fraud going on. The guy on the left, who we're not treating, looks like the 70-year-old. The guy that's laying down looks 20. So how is he the one that needs... Do you know what? I do smell insurance fraud. I really do. I think the young man hasn't got insurance and is using the 70-year-old's insurance. Because it's quite costly in America to get yourself fixed up. And he looks actually like Ronaldinho, the Brazilian footballer. One too many bevies, mister. So, right, he's just sitting there. He's pissed as a newt. His mate, or it could be his granddad for all I know, is just standing there. I'm not quite sure what he's waiting for. Probably his next session on the bar. So, can we get him into our ambulance by us getting into our ambulance? Might or might not do it. I don't know. Normally they follow us by now. So, I've got him into the ambulance. Let's see if we can go ahead and get a waypoint spawn. Waypoint? I tell you what, my mouth does not want to work today. A waypoint spawned. There we go. I haven't had my ready break, I guess. So yeah, no, there's no indication whatsoever of a hospital. So I don't know. How are we going to do this? Wonder if we start driving, perhaps. I mean, if we take him away from his mate, then you know it might help. But no, I'm going to pull in here. Perhaps release him, I think. Because nothing is working. He's got out. Has the other chap got out, or is he just sitting? Right, he's got out, and he's walking fine. Well, now that we've released him, he's walking fine. But don't worry about thanking us. You know, it's a never-ending job here. So, yeah. You'll have to let us know, guys, what you think of this mod so far. It seems pretty stable. There's a few little minor bugs and glitches with animation and bits and bobs like that. But other than that, there's nothing too untowards that's caused problems with our game. It hasn't crashed my game or caused any sort of texture failures. But I will say one thing, though, and this is a big up to all emergency services, whether you're fire, police or ambulance. It is an absolutely punishing, grueling job, and major kudos to anyone that does it. You have my full respect on that one. It really is a thankless job almost. And we're only playing it on a video game, you know. Oh, Jesus! Are you kidding me? There is not a nearer ambulance. Then we must be so understaffed today. So this is another thing that the emergency services face, is understaffing. It's not fun. It's not good. And, you know, there's a lot of pressure on them to be able to deliver and keep, you know, trusted citizens free. Free, safe, same thing. And when you're understaffed, it just must put such a, you know, huge pressure on you. So I guess all I can imagine is that we are understaffed today on this duty. So this is 4 miles away. So what I might do is I'm going to get onto the freeway and thinking now, oh shit, I'm thinking too much I am, and I ended up crashing. Right, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'm going to stop talking now, and in the editing I'll just cut this bit out until we get there. So it'll be a bit quicker because that's a long old haul we've got to do, and I don't want to bore you guys too much with the actual just driving of it. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and in editing I'll just cut this bit out and then join us when we get on scene. So see you in a bit, guys. Or, well, with the magic of editing, I'll see you in about 2.5 seconds. Wow, that time machine really does work. So yes, we've now got pretty damn close to the scene itself. We've got a helicopter just above us. I don't know what he's doing, but we're making our way to the victim. Thank you very much, Carl, for waiting. That was very nice of you. And it's looking a very beautiful day in Sandy Shores, I must admit. It's quite nice. It'd be nice to take a little dip in that lake if I ever got the day off, when I'm not responding to gangbangers shooting at me or people bleeding out on the floor. So anyway, right, we're here. So we approach the patient, and we appear to have got David Blaine that we're going to be fixing, who's doing his magical levitating trick. So yes, he appears to have been hit by a car. It's said on our little notes release. And I'm not quite sure how to treat the levitating man, to be honest. Well, that seems to have done it. There we go. So we've got to get the patient to the hospital. Please don't. No. It's not, is it? It's not going to be all the way back to the city, is it? Surely they can... Oh my... Okay, no. Whew. Do you know what? I had an awful, awful feeling there for a second that they're going to take us back to the city. I was like, no. No. So, yes, it looks like it's that one... But not the one. It's going to be the... I can't think of the name now. It's going to be the hospital where the sheriff's department is, I reckon. Around the back there. So we will get our little skates on and do that now. So they should really think about putting like an underground tunnel under that lake so you can get from point A to point B really quickly without having to go around the outside, because that is a bit of a pain in the arse, isn't it? So I might talk to the local governor and ask for a bridge or tunnel to be put onto or installed upon the river. So I don't know what you guys think. Would that be a pretty cool addition if you was to get like a little tunnel underneath there, take you from one side to the other without having to go around this massive loop? And I'll tell you what, my driving is shocking. It really is. Well, I don't know if it's the driving. I think it's the ambulance. I'm going to blame the ambulance because it turns as well as an oil tanker. It's awful. It like lollops. As you can see, the roof sways and it doesn't really grip. But I suppose that's how they really kind of do handle. Yeah, I suppose if it handled like a Ferrari, we would all whinge that it's not realistic enough. And a lot of people whinge that Grand Theft Auto isn't realistic as it is. I don't know. Looks pretty realistic to me. I don't know what you think. It's, you know, got masses of sex, prostitution, drugs, guns. It's just another day in LA, isn't it? So we're now here. And this is a very small shack to be able to drop off in. And even harder when you've got two people standing right in the bloody way. So right, he's gone off on his merry way and we are all fine and dandy. So we will get going again. So now that we've dropped him off, we can be on our merry way and perhaps patrol the streets of
Ambulance
Palito Bay.
61 respond to a for unconscious person.
Oh no.
At Vitus St. Vespucci Beach.
You're having an absolute laugh. Vespucci Beach? Do they not know where we are? Are we the only EMS out today? Dispatch, come on. Can you believe that, guys? She can't be for real, can she? That's unbelievable. We've got to drive all the way to Vespucci Beach for one person on the beach that has got a little bit of a problem. That's unreal. We have got to be the only paramedics on duty today. It's the only reason why. So, do you know what? Well, other than having a head-to-head almost with a Prius driver, I think what we'll do is, with the magic of editing, I think I'm going to do what I did earlier, and that's click my fingers and arrive there in 2 seconds. But I tell you what, before we do go, I'm going to tell you the magic of life, okay, or the secret of life. Now, the secret of life is that you, and that's the secret of life. Ah, I'm just kidding, guys. I thought that would be funny. Probably isn't. It probably won't even work, so I might even have to edit that out as well. But welcome back, guys. We are now back on scene and almost at Vespucci Beach. So thankfully we are en route and almost there, but I'm having a bit of a problem with this biker who seems to want to race me and has done since the freeway. Right, so we need to do a right here as we turn right. Oh my god, we've just 1050'd a motorcyclist. We've just 1050'd a motorcyclist. I do hope he's alright. Oh lord. Well, I suppose that's what you get for trying to undercut me. What an idiot. Well, you know what? I'm not going to tend to. I'm going to tend to this one first. It would be really funny, guys, wouldn't it, if we got a call up for an RTC on a motorcyclist at Vespucci Beach. Although, knowing our luck at the moment, it's probably going to end up being, you've got someone that is vomiting in Palito Bay. Yeah, it'd be just about our luck. So before we run over the sunbather, we shall go and see what's going on here. Now, the gentleman in question appears to be holding his abdomen, so I don't know if he's in pain there or not, but we've got our gloves on just in case he throws up on me hands. I don't want to catch whatever he has got, although putting my ear next to his throat isn't probably the best thing to do if I don't want to catch a genital disease. So, right, blood pressure is I don't know what that means. I almost feel like I have to get kind of a handbook, a medical handbook, to understand if they're well or not. The only thing I can really understand is the health. It seems to be out of 100, and anything below 50 is obviously they're not feeling too good. He's in the 60s, so he's all right. Not quite sure what we can do other than give him some respiratory treatment. But he appears to be doing what that young gentleman was doing at the bridge a couple of callbacks ago before we had to drive halfway across the world to fix two people up. So we'll give him time just to get his bearings. There's no others I can really do. I mean, I'll give him an injection. He could be dope sick. I mean, he does stick out like a sore thumb here. Everyone's all in their bikinis and tops off and sunbathing. We've got a gentleman here that's in denims. You know, Trevor Phillips' friend. So, I tell you, you know what, thinking of Trevor Phillips, that would be an absolute amazing mod to have, wouldn't it? If you could fix Trevor Phillips. You know when you play the story and you wake up in a random place and he's drunk and chucking his guts up somewhere. That would be really good if it was like underneath a train bridge and you've got to like fix Trevor Phillips up. That would be amazing. So I can't get him onto the well, it's not I can't get him onto the ambulance. I can't get him onto the ambulance without having to prompt, and it seems when I prompt him to get onto the ambulance, it doesn't give me a hospital waypoint. So perhaps I've given the wrong type of treatment. Perhaps until I've given the right treatment, he doesn't get any better. So I'm going to evaluate him again and perhaps choose a different treatment and see if that works. So I think that's what it is. Like I say, I've not played this before, so I am working it out along with you guys. So if you've worked it out any quicker or have played this before, do write in the comment box below and let me know what I'm bloody doing wrong. Because it would be nice to be able to get this off without having to keep treating them or stabbing them with more drugs. I mean, this is 2 lots of drugs now he's having, so he's going to be as high as a kite. I'll have whatever he's having. So I think those here are his friends that have just walked off, so that means... Right, I'm thinking I'm understanding it now. It appears... if you do the right treatment, the people that are with him when you get on scene bugger off, and that will prompt the hospital to give a waypoint, if you see what I mean. Like previously they've not, like that drunk guy, the old 70-year-old that was fine and dandy, he was still standing there leching over him. Had I not given him the right treatment, he was like that. So if I'd given the right treatment, perhaps he would have walked off and that would have started the script to give me a waypoint. So I'm going to impress him here with this fantastic J-turn I've just done. That was beautiful actually, wasn't it guys? I mean, that's got to be a thumbs up just for that J-turn. That was amazing. I mean, all of my hospital equipment in the back is now on the floor, and the guy that is already dope sick is now chucking his guts up from the movement I've just done. But we're not far away from the hospital, so we will go ahead, and I think this will be our last call out. I think I'll end it here. We've done quite a few. Disappointed I haven't got any bigger emergencies like gunshots or gang activities. I think there is a gunshot wound on this one, but I'm not sure. I think it is just treating like it is and how it is now. But my overall thoughts of this mod are it's pretty damn decent. I quite like it. I would certainly keep it. And I'm thinking, you know, I'll do another episode upon, you know, a helicopter or first responder. I like the mod. I don't know what you guys think. You'll have to let me know. Let us know in the comment box below whether you like this mod or not, whether you think it's any good, or if there's any other better ones. I've only found this one that seems to be stable enough to be able to play. Quite a few others I've done researches and they're not that good. You can do them, but they are really bugged out to buggery. So yes, I think we will end this call out. We'll get to the hospital, and then we'll end the episode there. I think we've definitely put a shift in today. We've helped a few people out and made sure that everyone is perfectly fine. So yes, my partner will be quite glad to get home, put his feet up, and I can also get home and rest up and get out of my my EMS clothes. So yeah, we're now we've dropped him off. He's also walked off as well. That's brilliant. So he's all fixed and healthy. So yes, once again, guys, it's been a good journey. I've really enjoyed this episode. I do hope you have as well. Don't forget to give that like button a little tickle. Just give it a nice little press. Boom, and it's liked. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll be able to, just on the right hand side, press that little bell, and it will give you notifications of more exciting episodes forthcoming. So yes, thank you guys, take care, and have a great day. Goodbye now.